We always have problems with our sound.
There we go.
There we are.
There we go.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay. Well, so people may not be here tonight because,
It's a busy month,
right.
but we're here.
We're here and you can tune in.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of YouTube.
You-
Yes. You
So
can
what
watch
we-
it a year from now, a week from now,
Or tomorrow.
It goes in
comment.
the archive.
It does.
Yes, yes.
So what we were saying, I hopefully
They didn't hear us.
they didn't hear us.
The
Okay,
first
so
time.
what we were talking about was that it's October, 2 months from 2020, and this is a big year coming up for us because we all have seniors, we all have 12th graders,
Crazy.
and so the busyness of just that alone, on top of everything else, is a little bit.
Busyness feels like an understatement a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Like-
I started to use the O word this week,
What is
which
that?
I never use. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
I know.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, you should
Oh.
rarely use
I'm
this
glad I
O
did
word.
not hear that.
Yeah, no. I'm
I
telling
would have
you.
been alarmed.
I learned, right? Concerning.
Yeah, that is
my-
different for you.
Hi, producer. Yeah, I
It
was.
says the volume. She says the volume is really low.
Oh,
So I don't know if we can turn it up some.
okay.
There's a way.
Who joined us?
Alana,
Alright.
thanks.
Hey, Alana.
Thanks,
Okay.
Alana.
Thanks, Alana. So yeah, this was.
Good.
Let us know.
Alana.
Oh, okay. Well, so
Alana.
I
Alana.
did have that kind of week.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of low.
good.
It's muted.
I can hear it. Okay. So, but
Hi, Alana. Let us know if it gets any
yeah,
better.
if you can hear us, okay. But today's Thursday, so we're on the downside of the week,
Thank
and we're
goodness.
heading into the weekend, which is great. So, have you
Mhm.
been busy?
Oh my goodness, yes. I was in California, in the wine country,
Ooh.
and I was able to avoid the wildfires out there.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
good.
Yes,
good.
there were some threats that our resort might get powered down
Oh
Mhm.
my.
to try to stall or stave off the fires.
Fires. Yeah.
But fortunately, that did not happen. So
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I've a few work colleagues. They were just worried, really
Yeah.
worried, because we were all
Oh, yeah.
together. We had a big team meeting this week, and they were concerned, and they were shutting out down power in certain parts of
Exactly.
the valley to make
like
sure.
planned outages.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's really how some of those fires really get, and
Mhm.
they get go
Oh,
really fast. So yeah, it was one of those weird weeks that seemed like everything was happening all at once.
Everything.
So.
What about you, Dan?
New Jersey. I visited the school day in Runnymede. I went to Marlton.
Oh,
Yes.
You're doing school visits.
I did a school visit in Runnymede, yes.
Nice.
In Marlton, I saw my mother and I went to church.
Oh,
yes,
very
in the
nice.
Marlton
This
area.
week? Nice.
Yes, yes, it's very nice.
Very nice. And you went to bed at a good time.
Most nights. Most nights. Yes, I was trying to struggle to read the book, so
Oh
my God.
I stayed up longer than I would. But when I woke up in the middle of the night naturally, then I would read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better. Alana says,
Yeah.
good. Thanks, Alana. Yes.
Yeah.
So no, my sleep is fine.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm not doing well with sleep this week. This was terrible. But again, when we get together as a staff, we have so much fun. It's hard to
Power
step
down.
away,
Oh,
power
yeah.
down, all those things that you should do that are good for your body. So my Fitbit is like screaming. I think my sleep hygiene this week, the score was like 52 or something.
Wait, is that on a scale of 100?
Yes.
Oh no.
I
That's not
know.
good.
I
That's not
know.
good.
It's not good at all.
Are your team people on? Are they watching?
Well, no, I don't know because everybody's traveling home. Everybody's traveling home.
Okay,
So.
all right. I know that
Yeah.
some of them joined.
Oh
so
yeah, I know.
Welcome.
Yeah. No, this week was a good week, but yeah, today was our travel day home. I just was lucky because our meeting was in New Brunswick, so it was good for me.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Our training was in New Jersey. Our team meeting was in New Jersey. It was great.
Lovely.
No planes.
No planes this week. Yes,
Okay.
but I was on a plane Friday and Sunday, so this was good that I could. And I don't go back on a plane till Tuesday.
Wow.
Wow, exactly.
Well, that's a good thing.
It is, but it's just been busy.
because it's a good thing because you have a special day.
Oh
coming
yes,
up.
yes. Oh gosh, yes. I will have a birthday on Saturday.
Happy birthday!
Yes. So it is exciting. all just to see family and friends. And,
Absolutely.
just
another
sitting-
milestone.
Another
Right,
milestone.
a lot of
Yeah,
celebrating.
a lot of
Yes.
celebrating because you can't do that.
No.
without
Now that you're getting
loved
older,
ones.
you are creeping on my age. I suggest you work on your hydration, your sleep. You could take the collagen peptides
Gonna
to
add
help
that.
your skin, stay clear.
Collagen peptides.
Yes,
yes,
yeah.
it's very-
I don't know anything
I've been
about that. We'll
reading
have
about
to-
it. Yeah, we'll do a
Yes,
download.
it's very important that when you get closer to my age, that you focus on staying youthful.
Stay youthful. You're
Yes,
absolutely
very
right.
much.
You're
Yes,
absolutely
very
right. You're
important.
absolutely right. So, are we ready to dive in? And
Let's do
I
it.
promised everybody, we won't exceed an hour. So,
Oh my God.
I know.
This book.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen out there.
We go to this second one.
Hi, Elisa.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
Glad you made it.
Everybody's running on, go green today. This is good.
Go green.
Like green, like
Go. They're
go,
ready.
like they're ready.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I know we were
Go time.
having.
Go time.
Yeah, we were having some meeting challenges
Yes.
times, but look
Schedule,
at this
schedule.
scheduling; it's perfect.
Mhm.
Yes.
Listen, I thought this book. Well, let me just say. Let me go with my first question to my
Yes.
ladies.
Yes, and you can answer it first.
Did you like the book?
You go first.
Yes.
Look.
Please go.
I would say this book was. I had concerns, several concerns, and when I say concerns, I mean concerns.
Yes. Yes.
So did I like it? It made me think a lot about human nature, and
Oh.
Good point.
that's where I don't know if I liked it or not. I'm gonna be really gray on this one, and say I don't know. But wow, Danielle, did you like the book?
Absolutely not. I did not like the book. No, it was very graphic, very disturbing.
Yeah.
It kept me up at night. I'm still unsettled by it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I'm very unsettled.
I can-
Like Larry said, I'm on my way home and I'm like, yay. Like, I had a nightmare midway and I'm like, oh, I'm glad that's not real.
Yeah.
It's really, it was too much for me. I wouldn't suggest this book to anyone. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't buy it for anyone.
Yeah.
I think this was a no for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daria.
Well, I think so. This book led me to be thinking a lot more, I think more than any other book we've read, about the author's mindset and maybe psychoses.
Well,
no, I just
we should write her a letter.
I just thought,
I don't
I
think
mean,
we
we've read her before.
We
have
have.
read Karin Slaughter.
Yeah, we have.
Which one? Which
The
do you
Good
remember?
Daughter.
The Good Daughter. So I don't remember feeling like this when I read
Mm.
her previous
one
book.
was-
Nor do I remember feeling like this about any author when we read their book. Like I was literally thinking,
Watch the table.
why? Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking, why would she write this? How did she come up with this?
Mm.
What's going on with her? Sorry, Karin, if you're watching. What's going on with you that would lead
But
you
it's
to write
probably
these
real.
things?
There are a lot of
Mhm.
sex slaves in America. Like it's probably.
I know.
So I don't know if something's wrong with her. I think she might be talking reality. It's
Yeah.
just I don't want to read it about it in my.
Right.
It does feel real. It
It
feels
feels
ripped from
yeah.
the headlines.
Yeah.
It feels like we could see this on breaking news tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
It feels
Yes. Very.
It feels bothersome.
So we're gonna do some
Yes.
general discussion questions and see where that kind of leads us.
Oh wait, sorry. I just want
Oh,
to go to
yeah.
the comments.
Please.
Yeah.
At least Alana says she loved it. Alana,
Alana, I
I have
love you.
$10 for you for your copay, girl. Alana, why did you love it? Just interesting to hear. Why did you
Yeah.
love
Send
it?
us a summary.
And then Elisa goes, hi, I'm terrible. I didn't finish the book, but I'm going to hear from all of you how it turns out. LOL, I can guess. Alana goes, this type of stuff is on true crime. She's right. Shows
Yeah.
all the time. And Elisa said, you look traumatized. Who looks traumatized? Daria
It
or
was
me?
All of us.
Elisa.
I
When
think
you read
all
the
of
book,
us.
like Elisa, read the book.
Elisa, don't read the book.
I mean, or read the book so you can see why we look like this.
Yeah, well, I still have to finish confession. I'm a little bit more than halfway through. I'm probably about 60% done. So I'll be guessing too, Elisa, where it lands. But I did at least get to some of the key parts that really were
Yeah.
like, where I stopped and just looked at the book like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely think
Oh,
it is.
Danielle, she said you're the one that looks traumatized.
Oh. I am Elisa.
Yeah.
There's a part in this book, right? I don't want you two to cut me off.
Yeah, right.
But they waterboarded the woman with urine.
Yeah.
That's too much. Keisha
Yeah.
doesn't even remember that part because she was probably traumatized.
I think so.
Yeah, that's
Might have had to block it out.
She had to
I
block it out.
I
Like,
really.
that is
now I
like-
want to go back and like.
That is taking it far. Like, ugh.
So let's start. Let's
a lot
start.
of it gets worse.
Oh, it gets worse.
It gets
Oh,
worse
I
in this
know.
book. I know.
Oh,
Or
I
you talking about
know.
other books?
So
Alana goes, I remember that. Lisa goes, oh my God, exactly. It was crazy. It was sick. All those things.
Yeah.
So let's talk about family history and how people are shaped. So the first question is about the characters, you know, and if you just think about, if you take the sisters, if you take Paul, you know, how are people just in general shaped by their family history, the personalities and motivations? You know, what do you think about that? I mean,
it's a definite determinant. Like it's you know, like in fact, now I'm so much more conscious of the connection between people's past and how they behave today, that when people do weird things, I'm like, all right, what happened to them?
Yes.
Like what happened to them? Because you know, there's a direct line. You can connect the dots.
Right.
I
mean, it's an indicator. It's a predictor, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I believe in generational curses. So it's true. I do believe in it. You know,
What does that mean?
Like if you had a baby before wedlock, the probability is that your kid's not a baby.
And that as a curse?
It is. It's a generational curse. It generally repeats itself. Yes. And it's very difficult to break.
That feels biblical.
It is.
In nature.
It is probably biblical, but it's true. Like you look around, look at the past, it's horrible. So like Paul, he's repeating his father, which is kind of similar to what really happens in reality.
Yeah, that's
so. Yeah. So, and if we knew Paul's dad, I bet his dad did stuff like that, and Paul's dad saw it. So,
and we have to think about the motivations too. So when we start thinking about that, even that piece, when someone becomes obsessed with a person and or a family, because this becomes a family obsession,
and we still don't know why.
We don't know.
Alana, do you know the why? I did not get that. Like,
wait, why Paul was obsessed with
why
that
were they
family?
obsessed with them?
I think it had to be because of the
his
father taking Julia.
Sure,
right?
We could assume, but what really was the why? Why did he pick Julia? He was like, I have to sleep with Julia.
Yeah.
You want to be with the sister of Julia.
Then his son marries Claire. And then he's obsessed with Lydia. So it was like Paul wanted both of those sisters. He got one, and then what was the motivation? I mean, and that's the first question. And
Well, okay. Could it be about power and control?
Sure.
Okay.
For what? For who?
Domination. Like this. In fact, I was just Javon just had to write an essay about how people can get blinded by their quest for power, and how, like, I wonder if maybe Paul saw what his dad was doing is like, I can one up that. I can have even more power. Because he only got one of the girls. So
correct.
He, Paul maybe was like, all right, if I get the other two, then it's like he's over superior to his father.
Right.
I mean, the dad had a lot of girls, right? So
I'm saying from one family.
Yeah,
that's why I still don't get, like, why do you pick that family?
Right. But I mean, to even pay Delgado, D's tuition. Paul's paying Lydia's daughter's tuition,
just to be able to come back and get her.
I mean,
to be
connected.
To know where
he wanted to come back and get her and torment her the way he tormented.
I mean, so that to me, right, is just too much. On every anniversary, you've got files upon files. But
I did want to answer that though. Like, I do also believe that you are products of your childhood, your environment.
Sure.
When you're triggered, something bothers you, sometimes you can think like, okay, what is this that triggered that? And you could go back to like a past.
Look at Elisa's comment.
Elisa.
Yeah.
You either become very strong, you become messed up.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
I think you can go either way.
Yeah.
And it's a fine line.
Definitely.
Sometimes the strong is messed up though. Sometimes you're like, oh, you're strong. No, you're messed up.
Yeah.
Because you don't let people in. You're always like attacking people. That's not so. And at least I know you didn't probably mean it that way, but you become strong, become messed up. And sometimes that strength is also messed up.
Yeah.
You've got to unpack it
because you're just hurt and damaged.
Right. And then sometimes we repeat those things and we don't even know we're doing it.
Yes.
So Alana had some comments too.
Yeah.
The father was stalking Julia and he had done most of the stuff to her without him and he was mad. Oh, okay, Alana.
Tried to get
And
Lydia,
Lana-
and he was a hot mess. He saw Claire when she visited Lydia at college. Decided he could still have a sister of two, and Claire was better. Yeah, I mean it's a domination thing. It's about I'm superior. Yeah. Wow. But why do you? Is that a typical dynamic that sons feel like they're in competition with their fathers?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The Oedipus complex, where they want their mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
They vie for attention. It's
But that's what makes them a man. Really, it's a good thing. That's, because
really?
then they want to emulate them. They want to repeat. What
Yeah,
they
but in
do.
this case, it wasn't.
It wasn't. But
No.
in general, that's why it's made like that. Like, oh, daddy's washing the car. Let me go wash the car.
Right.
Daddy opens the door for mommy. Let me.
Daddy's
open the door for
torturing
mommy.
and raping women. Let me go do
But
that.
we're talking about general.
But yeah,
I hear you,
general,
I hear you.
This is an extreme like outlier, but then the question begs, is it? That's where it gets. I mean, we're getting this story in this way that is absolutely, what's the word?
Traumatic.
Traumatic. But it's like 8,000 times. It's very extreme.
Yes,
8,000 times worse. But like Danielle's example of like following dad doing the lawn or the laundry or cooking or whatever the task is. This became a
obsession.
I mean, this became a totally different.
But Alana is saying you haven't gotten to that yet. Basically, it was a cult of men who did this to women.
A cult.
Like it was a group of men.
because it was the police got the police. Some of them were involved.
Oh, yeah,
right?
And in multiple countries, and
it was a ring.
Yes, like it's the clients were in different countries. The women
was he
were
running the money. Paul was running the money and everything, and that's how he got rich. Is that what happened?
I think so. Alana, help me.
Yeah, because he was worth a lot of money.
Because he was doing the video editing and everything.
Yeah, and the packages. And
I mean, he had clients, so he got paid. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's
so was he an architect?
Maybe that was the front to launder the money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about Claire and her little escapade with Paul's best friend? Or I mean, what's up with her? What's up with Claire?
She was,
but he knew about it. Her husband knew about it.
And was okay with it.
And that's why he sold her $3 million, $1 million for each time she had sex with him. So
No.
they're already sick.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Right. So they were already sick. Their relationship was sick. And
we read a book like this.
Probably.
Was it her book? It might have been her
I
other book.
I don't know. Karin Slaughter. Wow.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
This book had a lot of layers.
Like I get Claire, but she felt empty, and she said like she thought her marriage had everything that it needed, but then she realized it was like a lonely marriage.
Yeah.
And then, but what kind of sick best friend would do
right,
that?
Would do that.
But then she's probably mad at her husband too for some reason, not knowing.
Right.
Because why would you sleep with your husband's best friend?
Right. Well, what she said, it sounded like they never even. She never got fully undressed, she said. And she was always standing up.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really.
But
they did. That's
I know
point.
they did,
yeah,
but
you could do that with anybody. You could do that with anybody. They weren't in love. They weren't making love. So why didn't you go fuck the man at? Excuse me, you too. Why didn't you go have sex with the man? Right. That's how I feel about Claire. Why didn't you go have sex with the man at the gas station? You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to do that to his best friend. So that did show who his character was.
But her whole piece to marrying Paul was just because she wanted another title.
The message is over review.
I showed it. I moderated. Yeah.
Because basically she said she was so happy to rid herself of these other labels. The missing girl sister, the daughter of the traumatized Claire. So it's like, I felt like she was detached and she could do that because she was so disconnected because marrying Paul was about her just escaping and taking another path. She didn't want to be the daughter of the traumatized father who, she didn't want these other labels. So I just felt like she was just absolutely.
I'm gonna have to finish reading this book.
Oh yeah, this is a book. Yeah.
Whatever y'all decide. Yeah. But Alana was right. She was always this way. She didn't mention that she always slept with people, had one night stands. And the first night she met Paul, she slept with him.
Yeah.
So she was that type.
Yeah, she didn't have any.
She had no scruples.
Yeah, and then Lydia made a point where she was with
or she was liberated.
Or a girl. She was with a girl and then she was with them. She's like, I like the brother better. But like Lydia alluded to, right?
The sleep with your husband's best friend. I'm confident.
Well,
Well.
I'm just saying, there's two sides to every coin.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
about that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think maybe the liberation part was just like Lydia alluded to that. I mean, she was right back in the house talking to her, and Claire could make a joke about, oh, the girl, I was making out with the girl, and then, oh, but I like the brother better. Like, I mean, I think that part of it just shows you kind of who she really is.
Yeah.
And and Dar, you have a point how you're saying it's two sides, right? Like, she probably felt no control in that relationship because Paul controlled everything. He did everything. He took care of her. So that was her only power she could probably exert on something by right.
Yeah.
So,
but what about him making all the passwords, everything so easy, so he could really almost hide in plain sight?
That part hit me though.
Yeah.
Like that part. That part was real.
Yeah.
Like I don't go through Larry's phone. It's right there, but I'm not gonna go through it. But like you trust whoever you're with.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
when she was tracing those wires, when she was first like trying to discover like how to get to the source of the files and everything and find the hard drive, I could visualize like going through somebody's house, like being in the house and like actually tracing these wires back and looking, and the way he had it set up, it was so like systematic. It was so like calculated.
But he had a touch of OCD, she had mentioned.
He did.
And so it was like, almost too neat. So, I mean, good crime writers are skillful at hiding clues in plain sight. How well does the author hide the clues in this work?
I don't know. I don't know if I picked up on any of that.
But you were putting the pieces together, together.
That's interesting because I did write down. I wrote down.
It made me think about Alana's comment about this looks like true
I wrote
crime.
down Officer Mayhew acting weird, and he quoted Paul, the law of truly large numbers. Remember when he said that?
Yes.
And he wanted to make sure no other copies of the videos were out there. Like that told you right there that he was involved.
It's so.
And then that other guy, Nolan, the officer, knew he was creepy and weird.
So it's like the FBI, the local police, and then,
so you knew there were layers to this thing.
And then the best friend, I mean, I need the work files.
Yeah.
What work files?
Right.
Like,
but what about Claire and all that stuff, like going into that house, like that creepy rundown house, like
that she had painted the picture of?
Right. What do you guys think about that? Like, would you have made those same choices?
No. I would have had somebody with me other than just my sister.
Sister that I didn't speak to.
Yeah. Although Alana, you're a very good defender, all the way back to the day. Early in the day.
What do you mean?
She's a defender. However, I would have gone in with more than just my sister.
And that
I would have gone in
like,
with like reinforcements.
Right. That part made me like angry. Like, what are you like? Silly? That part to me seemed like kind of unrealistic. Like nobody's gonna go into that.
Alana said the first situation where they were in the bar and then the alley seemed off. What do you mean it seemed off? Because I feel somewhat similar. Like it just was like, whoa, what happened?
She was in the
here?
alley like drunk, right?
With her husband?
Lydia?
The very first night.
Yeah. It was almost like
when the whole thing happened, when he supposedly got killed.
Yes.
And first of all, how did he fake his death? How?
Well, they went through all that. Like the FBI helped them. The cops helped them. They had a real bad guy that they used.
Because I'm like, how do you do that? She watched him die.
Or she thought, because she was already traumatized.
And they said, Paul said you wouldn't want to see the body.
And
so they knew.
Yep.
Yes, and she didn't. Like she was weak, and Paul knew where she was.
Where she was going to be weak. So they.
But that part right there seems unrealistic. You don't want to see your husband's body, or.
But how much did she? She said she needed someone to take care of her. Yeah. But did she couldn't do the taking care of.
Right.
She couldn't do the dressing of a body, and she kept saying, I want to see my husband, not a body.
Although when he took her sister, when he took Lydia.
Yeah.
And she started like getting, fierce and forceful with him on the phone. Like, you better do this and you better do that. And he liked that. Remember, he was like, oh, I like you like this.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. It turned him
on. Somewhere in the book they said, I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like somewhere in the book they did say like that gets boring. Like just. Like she was willing to do whatever he wanted sexually. He liked
where she was like being defiant and challenging him and trying to be in control, like asserting herself. Yeah. He was like, "Ooh, I like."
They said just as much as doing stuff as much as like not doing it and then giving in. Like
placating.
It's a man. They like to chase. They're like a dog with a bone. They want to dig for it.
Right.
They don't just want you to
give everything that they want. Yeah, exactly. The games. I mean, so there were a lot of twists and turns.
Or Lydia played the game. I mean, like she was like, "No, I don't want to have sex with you. Don't rape me," and he still wanted to go after her.
Right. Yeah. So it went for the chase. I mean, what are the ladies saying?
Alana's saying him insisting on the sex in the alley, right? Just out of the blue.
Yeah, that was just. And the whole thing about tell me you want it or something. And
that really connected.
Phrase,
after they've been married that long.
18 years.
That was like, what?
Weird.
Yeah. But it was almost like he stepped out of his own character.
He did.
He stepped out of his husband character.
He broke out of.
Which was a twist for me. And I was like, okay, where's this going? I know something's about to happen.
Like he wanted her to know he was crazy.
Yeah, almost like catch
so
me.
Then it could, almost
like catch me.
I'm mad that she didn't catch him all that time. It might have made it more interesting.
Right. When she had the ankle bracelet.
Yeah.
Where she showed her bad girl side. I mean, like, who does that? I mean, that's not good for your wife.
But it's realistic. It actually was realistic. I can see a man being like that.
Oh, sure.
Personally.
She beat that woman up with a tennis racket.
What?
Committed a crime.
Oh, good. I can see
a man. Why do you have an ankle bracelet on? What kind of
that man? And beating somebody in the knee. And being defiant and saying, I'm gonna take these videos to the FBI and upload them to YouTube. He was like, you don't know how to do this. She was like, I'll figure it out.
Right.
I was like, we'll show you. We know how to. I was thinking, I know how to upload.
Dari knows how to upload.
I'll help you.
Pick me, I can help.
Oh my God.
I mean, so listen. I think what kind of research? I mean, just thinking about this, like, what kind of research did the author do?
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. I told you, psychosis.
I want to know. Like, that to me is just kind of, and this is like crime, mystery, all those things packed into one. Like I said, power packed. So, are there certain passages in the book, ideas, descriptions, or dialogue that you found interesting or revealing?
Oh.
Any others that, I know we talked about some, or something that struck you?
Yes.
In what lines, if any,
I will tell you. So the part where Claire it was towards the beginning where Claire was at the school and no, it wasn't where she was at school. She was reflecting on who had attacked her. Okay, remember they got attacked in the alley.
Yeah, the snake man or something.
The snake man. And she said, it says, is it racist to assume that rich white people were only robbed by Black or Hispanic gang members? Or had Claire listened to too much rap music in spin class? It startled her that Snake Man was white.
She could see his white hands. Yes.
I was like, okay, Karin. Okay,
yeah.
Karin Slaughter.
Yeah. She was digging deep onto some.
She really was.
Yeah.
And digging into stereotypes.
Absolutely.
And your readers could be from any racial, ethnic background. I felt some kind of way about that.
But see, I felt like she was bringing up what people typically think for discussion.
She was, but I didn't like that she gave one of the main characters that thought. I didn't like that she had her thinking like, oh, that person should have been Black or Hispanic. Like, I wish it was somebody peripheral, rather than like a main character. Maybe.
I got you.
Yeah, it just bothered me that it was like a central character that was having those thoughts.
Yeah,
like it gave it more weight to me.
Right, which is I think why it becomes a talking point, a point of discussion for like what these assumptions are, because they're in Atlanta suburbs. They're in a place, Dunwoody. I mean, the place. I know the place. So it's kind of like what made I think it becomes a discussion point where this person who wants to be act like she doesn't know anything that's happening in the media or stereotypes or racism. But she's really, she is violent. There was violent crimes in her family. Her father committed suicide. There are all these bad things. So why all of a sudden does Claire put up her pearls and act like?
Well, because she's in Westerly. Right? Westerly Academy. The mothers. The mother effers that she called them.
But that was Lydia. That was Lydia. Claire's the one who's in Dunwoody with Paul, and she's the one who is surprised that the person who attacks them is white in the alley.
True.
Yeah. So
True.
that's the part where I thought the Karin Slaughter was trying to make a point.
I see what you're saying.
As a main character,
Yeah.
Because the thing is that on the opposite side, Lydia, the recovering drug addict, and
she's in the
she's in
the social elite.
She's digging in her potato chips, and
right.
her boyfriend with his ponytail coming into the
Right. You could visualize that too.
I love the polarization of that. Rick.
Well, and they were in the midst of a fight too.
Yes.
With that.
Yeah.
She's like, "Is he gonna come sit with me, or is he gonna go over there?"
Right.
Yeah.
But
that felt real too.
That wasn't even his.
Yeah, he was.
That
there
felt
for her.
real. That felt very real.
That was really great. And then I liked how she handled that mom. Oh, Delgado, you must be his Hispanic connection.
Right.
And she's like,
all these assumptions.
right. Yes.
I think Karin Slaughter was trying to show the difference between the two sisters.
Yes. How they handled some of those pieces, because they really were living such different lives.
Yes.
Now I have a question. It says, do you think Paul loved Claire? Why or why not?
Well, Claire thought he loved her because of when he punched her.
But do you think?
I know. I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So when he punched her, she woke up laying on a pillow, and with her phone charging, and with the car ready to be driven. So, to me, that's not love. That's an illusion of love. Mm-hmm. So no, I do not think he loved her. I do not think he was capable of love.
Right.
But I also think that Claire was not capable of knowing what real love was.
Yeah. Well, there are definitely some pieces that were missing in her childhood, given the fact of Julia's disappearance and disturbing, life that it created for the family.
Alana's right.
What did Alana say?
He loved her like abusers love.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you are correct, Alana. Yeah. I agree.
What did you think, Danny?
Wait, no, you didn't give your answer.
Oh, I don't think he loved her. I think he looked at her as a toy plaything. I think he looked at her as like a doll that he could control. Mm-hmm. And he knew exactly what to do, when to do it, what to dress her in, and what to, I felt like he was just a puppet, like with the strings. Like I just kept thinking of it, a marionette. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought about. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. No, I didn't think he loved her. I felt like anybody could have filled that place for him. It was that wife that was at home. It was,
And I think the why he also managed Claire the way that he did, I think honestly, was the connection to Lydia, Julia. I think all of those connections.
Yeah.
I mean,
he can't isolate just her.
No,
she was part of a I don't know, what would you call
Carol?
It?
It's like he was, he was obsessed with the Carol family.
Yeah.
And you
a triumph, a trophy.
Yes.
Yeah.
True trophy.
Yeah.
And the part that is just so beguiling is that he
Elisa said something that
supported the piece around Lydia's abuse with drugs and alcohol. I mean that part.
Wait, say it again.
Paul.
Yeah.
He really wasn't capable of love, but what he also did was he triggered Lydia's, spiraling into drugs and alcohol.
How?
So she was a party girl.
Yeah.
And when she was then he attempted rape.
Right.
And her family did not believe her.
Oh, so that set her on a downward spiral.
Which is how she ends up at the grave trying to urinate on. Because she thought.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, so it's like back to that.
Yeah.
And so Claire, Claire was just looking for someone to, the escape part.
What did Elisa say? So Alana, first, Alana's point is more directly related to what you just said.
Yeah.
She's saying she felt like she was already into drugs and alcohol before that.
She was partying, yes.
But you think it ramped up.
I do think it ramped up.
It got worse.
It got worse.
Yeah, well, and because maybe she was experimental before that.
He picked her up,
but at that point she was exchanging her body
had it in her.
For drugs, and the way she justified it was, I'm getting drugs. I'm not just getting money.
Correct.
Which, I mean, what kind of rationalization is that?
Right.
Now, Elisa's point. We were talking about what passage really struck us. Mm-hmm. Like that was the question.
Mm-hmm.
She said it was when Lydia asked Claire, "What do you do all day?" So this is an interesting one. This whole thing about moms or women who work.
The mommy wars. Yes.
Versus moms or women who do not work.
Correct.
Clara wasn't even a mom.
She wasn't.
So that begs more. Like,
and
what
she
do you
did
do
not want to be a mom. She had that IUD.
Yes.
And did not tell Paul.
No.
But how did she
feel warm? Paul didn't even know.
The inhospitable womb.
And
the inhospitable womb.
With the wire. She said, of course it would be with a wire in there.
Exactly. I read that. I was like, oh, yep, that's right.
That would make sense.
But I do think we're all guilty of thinking, like, what do you do with your time? Like, if there was a woman that didn't work or a man that didn't work and you don't have kids, like, really, what do you fill your time with?
Yeah.
You know?
They find stuff. They
find
drugs. No, they find more than that. They find more than that.
Well, right. But
they will attach
vices,
meaning. They will attach meaning to the smallest of things.
Yeah, vices.
Yeah. Just vices? You think?
A vice, like whatever a vice, like
you don't think you think it's all negative.
Not all. Yeah. Nothing's all.
Yeah. No. I think they do. I mean, I think.
Yeah. Nothing's all.
I think they do find things to fill their time with, but there are some things that it's like, well, I don't know what you're doing, but then it's a judgment. It's a judgment on. You know, I know on my side, I wonder about that. Like, what is it exactly that you do? But you know what? You have a right to choose how you spend your time and what you find value in. And
absolutely.
Right. So, but I think Lydia, of course, she certainly was feeling about her life, all the things, struggles, triumphs, challenges, versus her sister, who seemed like everything was on this silver platter. But that platter was an ugly platter.
Yes, it was.
That platter was a terrible one.
What is it? So, what do you think of Elisa's point here about, is it wrong to say that the wealthy have time and money to do sadist stuff? That's like your point about, like, is more leaning towards vices.
You're going to have a bite, all that free time.
Well, you know what they say, that the idle hands are the devil's handiwork.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And that, believe in that.
Okay, like that. There's a reason for that expression. It's like too much free time is the playground for the sinful nature to emerge.
Yeah. We have the money to do everything, get everything, have access to everything.
More money, more power.
Right.
More problems.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, now you're doing all these things. I think it makes you think about those layers in our society where, sometimes a simple life. Might be.
Well, and people are happier. Like, there's a lot of studies that show people who live in like remote regions of the world, emerging economies who don't have like the full capitalist engine that we have here, they're happier.
Yeah.
They live longer and they're happier.
Yeah. Or people that live in tiny homes.
Yeah.
By choice.
Yes.
Because Alana says, so do poor people. I think a sick mind is going to find a way to find what it needs.
A sick mind
like
is
you're already
going
sick.
to find a way.
That's true. There are sick people that are poor and rich.
Here's what so my reaction to that, Alana, is so the way that's framed, it's like a sick mind, like as if it's fixed. A sick mind is like to me, it's not a fixed thing. There's like a way it ebbs and flows.
I think she means like this sicko book stuff.
Yeah, like this.
Like that don't ebb and flow.
Because
if you want to do this,
if he didn't have the wealth, could he have spewed and sent this all over the world, global? Like,
and Alana, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're talking about this sicko stuff.
Yeah. What sicko stuff?
That's in this book.
In this book.
I believe that's what. Yeah.
Well, what about like a Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein was essentially this. Okay, remember Jeffrey Epstein?
Jeffrey Epstein now.
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire that reputedly built his wealth on like in a similar kind of a pyramid scheme as like Madoff with a Ponzi type thing, where it wasn't legit earnings, but he kind of like built it up, through like, a pyramid. So anyway, he was sex trafficking. And then he was put in jail.
Yes.
And he committed suicide, supposedly.
So the Huckleberry.
Well,
now, so he supposedly committed suicide. I say supposedly because the conspiracy theory would be there were a lot of people that could be hurt. There's a big network of people who were benefiting from this operation.
Yeah.
So this man needs to be silenced because he's the voice that could really expose everything.
It's like the alarm went off at him. Yeah,
let's shut him up, make it look like a suicide, but really it wasn't a suicide. It was actually him being silenced.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I agree.
But they said that at the end, the guy Huckleberry, I think it's Huckleberry.
What they call the cops?
The 81-year-old guy, 81-year-old, they said he's really the one that got away with murder. Because he got to enjoy his kids growing up. He was all a part of it.
Wait, who was that?
I think it's Huckleberry. What's his name?
One of the police?
Yeah, because they
called the Huckleberry was the
Huckabee. Sheriff Carl Huckabee. In charge of Julia's missing person investigation.
He got to see everything.
He got to see everything. He died at 81.
That's, like,
he had a heart attack.
I never thought about the Epstein connection, but this is very connected to the Jeffrey Epstein story.
This book came out in 2015, I think. I mean,
okay, Karin Slaughter, what did you know? Did you know about Jeffrey Epstein?
She's
Karin Slaughter.
Something.
I think we said it was like real. So.
It felt very like a page turner. I mean, all you would just be like, I can't believe this is happening.
I don't know about a page turner. I had to put it down.
It was certainly. I mean, I just think being a part of a society where everyone is living, and this is a part. This is the dark side. Like we had to talk about like crisis communications today. It's a dark thing to talk about. This is a dark thing to talk about in humanity. There are people who this is their bread and butter.
They're making nucleus.
Absolutely.
The fiber of their being.
So Alana says money lets you enjoy your depraved fetishes on a different level than the average person.
Oh, I agree. I'm 100% Alana.
Well, you can see that, and you can just go to Atlantic City or Vegas and see that. You can definitely see that there.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you can see it
anywhere
in our and outside in the street.
So I have a question.
Yes.
This is a question I had. The world stops for you when you're pretty. That's a quote from the book. So the world stops for you when you're pretty. Lydia says this when telling Rick that pretty women can get away with anything. Do you think this is true? Is this why women use cosmetics? Wait, can I finish my question?
I'm sorry.
Is this why women use cosmetics and try to make themselves attractive? But I just thought that the world stops when you're pretty. And do you think this is true? But go ahead, were you?
Yeah.
Well, first, quickly, detour. Elisa said that's who she was thinking about too. Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you, Elisa.
Yeah.
Back to this question.
Right.
So I will say that sometimes let the little children shall lead them. So Devin said to me that I shouldn't have said that. Never mind.
Okay.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Do you think it's true? Not even with Devin. Yeah. Do you think that's true?
Well, yes, I do think that cosmetics. So first of all, when we look at each other, like there's not a lot of enhancement going on.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
Not a lot of enhancement happening here.
Not yet. I'm not opposed to it.
I do color my hair, right? And what else do I do? That's really about it. I wear some lip gloss, some eyeliner.
Yeah.
There are little girls in our schools that are feeling like they need to come to school with the contouring and the cosmetics and the nails and the everything.
Every day.
Yeah. Because this is what is expected of them.
Because that's what pretty means.
That's what pretty means.
Or they like
it. And I'm not sure. I mean, and then maybe.
Or they like what they get from it.
That too. Or they like how I like the way I look natural. They like the way they look made up. I mean.
Right.
Well, whatever the motivation is, it's unfortunate because it's not natural.
Well, so I think the question for to answer, I do think society, and I'm just talking about global, puts a standard on pretty and what pretty is and what it means. And I think if you are on the peripheral of that in any way, and I don't know what the I think we know based on what we see in magazines and television and so on, and what people have shared about their experience, what pretty means. And yes, I do think that if you are better looking, based on whoever's in front of you, who
gets to decide the standard of who's better?
No. I'm saying I do think, I definitely think, and I definitely have experienced where if you, the person who perceives, the person in front of you who perceives that you're better looking or attractive, there is a different behavior. There is. And I think Lydia alludes to that because she was, as Claire even said, better looking than her. She just had a rougher experience. But Claire could see how pretty Lydia was, and Lydia went through way more. Obviously, she, of course, did some terrible things to her body, but Claire could even see how pretty she was. But Claire knew she got away with a lot of things because she was. Just like when the detective complimented her, and she's like, "Thank you." That's just her standard normal behavior and response. And I do think that is a real thing.
I do too. What do you that struck whenever I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
Yeah.
But not just even for women, for men too.
Sure.
If you see a nice looking man, you're gonna, maybe, with anything, whatever. You might be more apt to say yes than say no.
Correct. Well, give them a little bit of extra chance.
Well, you might smile more than if they were ugly, if they hold the door for you. You know what I mean? Sure. It does change sometimes the way you interact and engage based on
and the standard. It's about the person.
Whatever you perceive as the standard.
So
how about how much of a curveball it is that the book was titled "Pretty Girls"?
Hello. Yeah.
Well, that goes back to the end of the book.
There's so many. I didn't see that.
I know that's
but they're to me, I'm about 60% into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, pretty girls. That, this is not what I would title the book, given the it's very sadistic. It's very barbaric. It's very brutish. It's very I can't it's just I think of all these words. I don't think of pretty girls.
But that's who was picked.
But the perception of what sells, what was going viral, global,
are pretty girls. Now, Lana, you said not everyone wants to be natural. I don't know if you were. I think that's what I was kind of saying, but not sure. It depends on how you want to look, but not sure. That's all you said. The pretty sisters were targets, right? And the call went after similar pretty girls. Exactly. Yes. They talked about the way they were talked about in the media. Yes. But then the dad also said in the end, "You will always be my pretty girl," or something like that.
Oh.
So, but yes. So that's why she.
There's so much.
Well, when he wrote his suicide note, said it to my.
But that wasn't his note.
What?
They didn't read the book, obviously.
Well, hello, I got 60% through. I got 40% left. What do you mean it wasn't his note?
Paul killed the dad.
What? He didn't kill himself?
No, Paul killed. He tortured him.
I clearly am not getting any sleep tonight because now I can't believe that. Wow.
No, you didn't finish it.
I finished, but I didn't go deep. I'm not.
What?
No,
right. Alana, thank you, Alana, for reading. Alana says he didn't commit suicide. Alana, you win the prize for today.
Alana, it's Alana.
Listen, I'm okay. Wow. Okay. That's amazing.
Oh my.
Yeah. That's good.
I said hello. I said I was only 60% done.
Yeah, but I know. I said to Danielle coming in, I said I missed some key pieces. Clearly. Oh my goodness.
You said you have 10 hours of sleep this week.
Yes.
It's okay. No judgment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But listen, people, listen. I must say, so I have to applaud these ladies here because I said, look, I have only read half this book. Right. Maybe we should postpone. Maybe we should just postpone, cancel. And they said, no. We are committed. We are going to be there.
Yeah. We're going to do whatever we can do. We're going to make the best of it. But clearly, some key pieces.
Oh my God. It's okay. Wow. We're doing good.
Yeah. This is great. I mean, this book, though, really, truly, I have to be honest. I mean, it made me think about a lot of different things.
It is. We've almost been on for an hour. Oh my gosh, it's 9:51. We gotta let these people go.
Yeah. So for me, honestly, I'm gonna do go deeper. I do, Alana. I want to give you a shout out though because Karin Slaughter, you did mention this book to us a few months back.
I was wondering how we picked this book. Alana, is this why we picked this book? So I'm like,
yes.
Larry asked me, he said, "Who picked this book?" I'm like, I don't know, but that's a good question.
Well, we read The Good Daughter and we liked it. You and I read pieces of her, which is also Karin Slaughter.
I don't even remember all these books.
Yeah, no, we read pieces of her. Dari didn't read that one because it was a bit much. Because it was like a, but we read.
Oh, Alana said, no, I didn't.
What?
Oh,
What?
Wait, Alana. Well, then I'm confused because
I'm confused too.
Yeah, I thought it was. But listen. Karin Slaughter, clearly America loves her. Best-selling.
She said this is the only Karin Slaughter book she read.
Okay, so she didn't recommend it. So I don't know how we got it. It might have been me by accident. I don't know.
I know that I've read 2 other books by Karin Slaughter. I read The Good Daughter.
I read that.
And Pieces of Her.
I didn't read
You
didn't like the beginning or
it was
something.
disturbing to you, and you did not like it.
Well, this was disturbing to me. I'm like,
Oh, I
what's
know.
wrong with her?
So Pieces of Her, I thought was excellent, and I think actually you would like it. But there are always a lot of twists and turns in her book. So this was my 3rd attempt with Karin Slaughter. I don't dislike.
Oh, Alana said you said that one of them started with a school shooting, and Daria didn't like it. Thank you. That's correct.
That's Pieces of Her.
Yes,
that is correct. That's
right.
Of her.
And I had to stop. I couldn't do it.
The Good Daughter.
Wow.
There was also a shooting, and there were sisters
Karen?
Involved.
Karen.
Karen.
I'm talking to you right now, Karen.
Where
Karen,
one was in her.
What is going on with you, Karen? What's going on?
The one daughter was hurt in the shooting.
We need to reach out to
the
Karen.
Good daughter, and then the mother was assassinated in front of them.
Are y'all listening?
I don't recall.
Yes.
We need to reach out to Karin Slaughter.
Oh,
Karen.
But she's doing great.
She's doing great. She has 8. That was the question here. Karin Slaughter was written 18 books. Will you read any of them?
Okay, no, but
I read. This is my. When I finish,
we need an intervention for Karen.
No, she's selling books.
Okay,
Alana
that's great.
loves it.
However,
Look, Alana goes, I'm ready to read all Karin Slaughter's books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Well, I read 2 and I enjoyed them, and this one I've got to get.
But not this. Well, you didn't finish the
I
book,
didn't
so we don't really know.
Yeah, I do like reading books that I don't know the next thing that's going to happen. I understand again about the, magnitude of this one particularly, but the other 2 I read, I really didn't know what was going to happen. And I read them in a short amount of time. Yeah. So I do think I kind of like the way that she writes. And I like that the narrator changes. I do like that. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I did. I read Pieces of Her and I read The Good Daughter, and I did like them.
But Dory does have a point in terms of worrying about Karin Slaughter.
I'm worried about Karen.
No, I'm
Karen. I'm worried about you.
No, I think Dory does have a point because all this is swimming in her sick mind.
Yes.
And I wish I could unread what I just read.
But you can't.
I cannot.
Just like the guy in the jail said, you can't unsee the images. The images. You can't unsee.
I need to unhear about this waterboarding. That one, it was too much. The branding, it was too much.
Yeah, because it's in your mind.
It's just too much.
So we're gonna talk about November now.
November? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about November.
What are we doing?
I hope we did some research. It cannot be this psycho sick.
Okay, let me go to the calendar.
Alana, I'm glad we honored you with something you liked, and we'll read more. We really will, because we have to get out of our comfort zone.
Don't promise that.
No, we have to grow. Guys,
we're growing.
Our point in the book is to grow.
Okay, so so Alana, perhaps Alana, this is the book you recommended. I don't know.
She said
in November, I'm pivoting. We're done. Karin Slaughter, we're done. Putting it down.
Yeah.
And walk away.
Slowly.
Backing up. So November, we're going to be reading The First Mistake by Sandie Jones.
I like Sandie Jones.
And I think maybe, Alana, this is the book recommendation. I'm not sure now.
Did say something about
The First Mistake by Sandie Jones. Now, we will be sending the date later.
What is it? What is it? It's November.
Yeah, but we have a conflict.
Oh, we have to
with
adjust.
The Thanksgiving.
Okay, we will adjust.
The travel and all. So we're gonna. But I wanted you guys to know the November book. So start reading.
Say it again.
The
author and title.
So Sandie Jones is the author, and the book is titled "The First Mistake."
The First Mistake.
The First Mistake.
That sounds intriguing.
That does sound intriguing.
So we will get the date that we discuss it to you very soon. But at least you know the title. I want to fast forward to December.
Okay.
Right? Because, 2019 is out the door.
Can you tell who's coordinating?
No, we did it all together.
Teamwork. We did it. We did it. I just took notes. We just took notes.
We all
So for December, again, we'll send the dates later.
Yep.
But we're going to read Rainbow Rowell. Landline.
What?
Rainbow Rowell.
Where does this come from?
That's my
Landline.
point. That's what I said. Wait.
This is the book.
Keisha
Danielle
said that.
recommended.
No. Danielle did not recommend it. Let's be clear. You
Okay.
sent some correct random books. I feel like I said this is the better one.
So
But
here's.
I didn't know that was like for the YouTube.
Yes, it is. So because we have 2 for December, but we'll talk about
What?
it. Well, I
Okay.
gave you 2 choices,
All right.
but
Okay.
Rainbow Rowell.
Oh wait, Alana said you said Dream House by Jess
Jess
Ryder.
Right.
Dream House.
So
That's
Keisha
right.
did not
I
read the book.
remember
She had
that.
10 hours of sleep. We're just gonna
I
focus
think.
on.
Listen, I think she's mixing up book clubs.
We're
She's
just
in like how many book clubs are you in? Like 5?
3.
You in like she's in 3 book clubs. She's wrong.
We're gonna focus on November. Let's just focus on November.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on
November
I think
is
we were saying Dream House for January.
no.
Okay.
Let's just stick to November.
Okay. So what are we doing for November?
We'll get back to you.
What you
people.
just said. What you just said. The first mistake.
The first mistake.
The
Sandy
first
Jones?
mistake.
Okay.
November.
And we'll
this-
get back with the date.
Yeah. So, and Alana, just to say, let me just say this. I was thinking about December and thinking about holiday
That is
themed
true. We
books.
did talk about that.
So that's honestly, I did have that conversation probably at midnight with Dari and Danielle.
You did. You
And so
absolutely did.
I recommend, I was looking at holiday
We thought
kind
it'd
of
be fun to do a
themed
holiday
books.
themed book.
So that's really where it came from. But I can be swayed and we'll get back to you.
Yes.
So let us
Yeah.
know. Do you want to do a holiday theme book
For December, or do you want to go with,
the Dream House?
yes,
Let us
know.
But
All
you
right.
gotta let us know by November 20th.
Yes. Because
Yes.
then we like to
Good
give
point.
everybody,
Yes.
we like to give
Very
everybody
good.
notice.
Very good. Very good.
This has been fun and
Yes.
a very unscripted. This
Yeah, we have to bleep
and,
some things
you know,
out.
we're
we have to bleep it out.
yeah, but
And Daria.
what we
a lot of
appreciate
books.
is what number episode is this, Daria?
This is episode 10.
Woo, woo! We're on double digits now, 10. So we appreciate you hanging with us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your feedback tonight, ladies. Our Alana and Elisa, you read the book. It was great. Keep reading. I'll finish or
Legacy
reread.
Legacy members.
And
Yes, legacy member.
listen, don't forget. Okay, this book. I don't want you to live this book.
No,
Okay.
wait.
I don't want you to.
Alana says we can do a December theme if there's murder. Just that's fine. That's your sister. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, normally we
That's
sign
not-
off.
we're
We
not
say,
living
don't
this book."
forget to live the book. But think about that
Yeah.
before.
Don't read the book. Check his phone. Look at the files.
Right.
See where the court goes.
There are no characters I want you to emulate in this
If
book.
you know your husband's following you because he's following your iPhone, maybe throw it out the door.
Yeah,
Get a
I don't
burner.
know.
Maybe the Tesla is like
Right.
has the map
Tracking.
Track. Like just
So,
some common sense. Do
I'm
not
just gonna
live
say-
this book.
Right.
Do not live
Right.
Do not
This
live
book
this
is not the
book.
book to
See,
live.
this is a first. This is a first.
This book.
All right, so this time we will say
Good night.
Do not
Do not
live